Welcome back to Broken Bobby's Transformation Page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, this is the best way to do time in today's prison environment. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, smash that like button if you enjoy this sort of content. Drop a comment, let me know what you think. Is there anything I missed? And hit that notification bell so that anytime I drop a new video or I go live, you will be notified. Also, you can become a member of the channel. Just hit that join button and check that out if that interests you. That's the best way to support the channel. So I'll give a couple of examples of how much time you would be doing and the type of yard that you would be on, and basically my humble opinion on how is the best way to go, basically. And this is more aimed at somebody that's never done time in California, and just like some generalized ideas on it. So say you get busted and you're looking at 3 to 5 years. Okay, so you're going to be a lower level inmate. And what I mean by lower level is there's a point system in California. You have levels 1 through 4, 1 being the lowest, level 4, 180 being the highest. You have a level 4, 270 and a level 4, 180. And I'll try to get a little more into that here shortly. So say you got 3 to 5 years. You're probably going to be somewhere, depending on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into the classification of how many points you have. But, they determine how many points you have. And if you're at, well, when I was doing time, if it was 19 or less, you were level 1. Level 1 is the lowest of the levels. Typically, it's got a 6-foot perimeter fence, like you're getting ready to go home. So people don't typically try to escape from these places, and they don't make it hard to. Now, the thing is, in California now, if you land on a level 1 or a level 2 and you are a GP or a general population inmate, you can't stay there. Basically, you have a set amount of time to get off of that yard. And if you don't get off of that yard, then you will be judged as no good, basically, amongst the general population inmates. So if, you're in that 3 to 5 range, you got low points, level 1 or level 2, then you have to make a decision at this point. You land on that yard, and these yards, like I said, they're all considered no good now, so they're SNY. But, if you're not going to stay there, then you have to attack somebody and stay on them until you get caught. That way, you'll get sent to ADSEG, and, your points will go up. Now, with the level 2, basically, it is a higher gate, and, that's about the only difference, I think. 1 and 2 are both dorm living type situations. So now let's go to example 2. Say you've got 7 to 10 years somewhere in there, maybe 12 years, something like that. Now you're going to have a little bit higher points, but, you're probably still going to be somewhere in the level 2, maybe low level 3 range as far as points go. So same thing applies if you land on a 2 yard, you got to get off. And like I said, that, involves attacking another inmate or attacking a CO if that's what floats your boat. But, because, 1 and 2s are no good. And I was talking to somebody and they kind of ran all this down to me. So, I'm going based on what I was told. Um, Now, if, you got 15, 20 life, then you're going to a level 4. Level 4 basically is the maximum security. You're behind a wall. And I think I skipped level 3. Level 3 is the high fence. I believe it's a double fence. When I was in Delano, they had an electric fence that it was in between the two high gates with the barbed wire and all of that stuff. So, that's kind of the breakdown of the levels. Level 4s, 270 is a big section, basically. The difference between the 180 and the 270 is the 270 is broken into sections. So if it was a 270, there's an A, a B, and a C section. And the reason they do that is they break it down into smaller groups of inmates, because these are considered the most dangerous inmates. So, yeah, you end up on the level 4, you got a bunch of time. You have to make a decision. Are you going to run general population, or are you going to go SNY? Basically, the difference is if you're on a GP, you are going to click up with your people, your car, if you will. People from your area, like a white guy would run with the whites, with the Woods or the Skins, depending on, who they kicked it with on the streets, I guess, So the best advice I could offer, though, is if someone is going to be going to prison, is stay out of the politics. If you are, if you're going in on drug charges, don't use drugs unless you can afford to pay for them. And I know this channel's about sobriety, but, I'm just keeping it real. If you're going to prison and you're a drug addict, you may want to use. So if that's what you're doing, then don't use it unless you can pay for it. And that's really difficult because addiction's a motherfucker, right? So don't use drugs unless you can pay for it. Don't gamble unless you can cover your debt. Those are kind of the main ones. Now, the thing is, if you have one of these smaller sentences, 3 to 5 years or so, and you end up on a 1 or a 2 yard, if, you don't have a whole bunch of time to do, you could stay on one of those 1 or 2 yards. But be very careful in making that choice, because if something happens, you get in a fight, anything happens to where your points get jacked up and you end up on a 3, they're going to look at your paperwork and they're going to see it's an adverse transfer. And, they're going to say, well, damn, you were on this 1 yard for 9 months, a year, whatever it may be. Now you're no good. And they'll get on you. So, choose very wisely with that. If you choose to stay on one of those 1 or 2 yards, you better say, excuse me, every time you walk past somebody, and better be ready to eat some crow, basically, because like I said, if you get off on somebody, or you're trying to politic and it blows up in your face, then you're going to have to answer for that when you hit, a higher level yard. So, other thing is, no matter where you land and what you're doing, figure out your program. What I mean by program is plan out your day and basically just repeat it. So like during the week, you're going to go to school or your job. You're going to work out, maybe take some time to write a letter, some time to read a book, whatever your program may be. But basically, you have a set schedule, and that will make your time go by faster, basically. So, that's kind of the rundown on, what doing time today is like. Also, I hear there's a lot of programs to where, like if you finish your GED, they take 6 months off. If you do college classes, like you get 6 weeks or whatever it may be for each semester completed. So there is a lot of stuff that can help you get done quicker. Also, if you're in that 7 to 10 year range or more, and you don't have a violent crime, try to go to fire camp. Like that, that's what I wanted to do so bad when I was locked up. I just didn't have enough time, and I kept getting caught up in shit, you know. So, anyways, I hope this video helps. The best remedy is don't do stuff that's going to put you in prison, and you won't have to worry about being in these situations and making these sort of decisions. I hope everybody's having a great week, and I should be back on live again Sunday night, so be on the lookout for that. Also, like I said, if you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, drop a comment. Did I miss anything? Did I nail it? Like, what do you think? And hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified anytime I drop something new. Family, fitness, and freedom are the things that help me to get my life back together, and they can help you as well. And just something to think about. Just because you get sober don't mean your life becomes perfect all of a sudden. It's still a work in progress, guys. So, but sobriety is the best first step that you could take. So, I hope that everybody is doing well, like I said. And if you're new to sobriety, welcome. You can do this, if I could do it, you could definitely do it. So don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.